what's up guys? Mike Fry, President and CEO of Deepwater Subsea. Slow down. Take your time, do it right the first time. We've heard this message since we were kids, whether it's working on our homework, working on our project. Slow down. Do it right the first time. Tortoise and the hare, we've heard the kids' stories about slow and steady wins the race. Unfortunately, in this market, too many times people want to be in a hurry. They want to rush. And then what we find out is that that's when the mistakes happen. That's when things are forgotten. The error in our ways is not taking our time to do things right the first time. When it comes to documentation, take your time, fill out your paperwork, do your preventative maintenance, take your time. Now, I'm not saying go into chill mode. Time is still money, and your efficiency at the end of the day is what's going to get you projects, is what's going to get you contracts. So it's very important to stay very efficient, but take your time and do it right. I know a lot of you guys in oil and gas are NASCAR fans, and so I use these video clips to demonstrate examples of where not doing it right the first time can cost you so much, especially in a race. When they talk about the race isn't necessarily one on the track, it's one in the pits. How often do NASCAR crews practice, changing tires, pit stops? They actually have competitions for it. What pit crew is the best when it comes to getting in and getting out, changing 4 tires, putting in some gas, doing their business? How do you not put the jack all the way up underneath the car? How do you make sure that the front tire's not on? Like you hear in the commentary, new crews, different crews that have never worked together before, that's where we're at a lot of risk.
It just never fails. Substitute drivers with a different team and different people, spotters, crew chief, really difficult.
We're starting to see that today with rigs that are being reactivated. Companies just grabbing guys off the streets. Hey, are you a warm body? Do you know how to spell BOP? Let's get you back into the field. We need to man this rig for maybe a turnkey contract for a couple months. Now, more than any time in the industry, it's important to take your time. One of the things that we found out during the post-investigation in any event is documentation. Here in the US, if you look at the new BSEE rules and regulations, one of the big things that they're focusing on is demonstrate to me that the work has been done. Show me the documentation. It's not that they don't trust you. Trust is very easy when it's validated. Prove to me that you did the work. Show me the documentation. That's where it's the most important. I've seen companies, operators today who have said, hey, look, if you can't demonstrate to me that you actually did the work in the documentation, I'm gonna make you pull the BOP and do it all over again. So now, more than ever in our industry, taking your time and doing it right the first time is more important than ever. US track and field team, we've always been told don't drop the ball. But for track and field, the 4x100 relay, dropping the baton can take you out of the race. The US women's team, one of the fastest four women ever, constantly were getting defeated because of the baton exchange. Same thing with the US men. They were dropping the baton all the time. In this example, the US have a huge lead. And unfortunately, a simple exchange, something they practice all the time, takes them out of the race. The problem with that is we do our job. You might have been doing your job for 20 years. You might have been doing your job for 10 years. But unfortunately, as much as we practice, when we're in a hurry, we still expose ourselves to the opportunity to make mistakes. So for this message, take your time. Do it right the first time. Make your inspections, do your PMs, take an extra couple seconds to check something. Hell, take an extra hour before you put the BOP in the water to just double check and make sure everything is right. Subsea operational excellence is something that's very easy to obtain, but you have to take the time and do things right. You have to do your inspections, you have to do your maintenance, you have to do your documentation. So many times what we find is that people are in a rush. Like I said earlier, if you're in a rush, you're gonna miss things. People don't use procedures because they say, hey, I know what needs to be done. You might have 80% of it right, but what about that 20% you're missing? Take the time, print it out, read through it, double check. If you wanna obtain subsea operational excellence, this is the first step in making it happen. So if you have any questions about obtaining subsea operational excellence, please feel free to give us a call at 832-356-6781 or visit us on the web at www.deepwatersubsea.com. Be safe, take it slow, and great things will come your way.